All right, let us know if you can hear us now.
Here's
this is
our
second try.
I just played with the settings. Hopefully it works better now. I don't know what that was about, but I assume, I let my brother play video games on my computer, and he hooks up his other devices, and I think it might have gotten connected to one of those and changed some of our settings around. So hopefully it's fixed now. So anytime you guys want to let us know if you can hear us, that would be great. Okay, perfect. Melanie can hear us.
Thank you.
Fixed it.
Well, that's what comes from sharing devices and Bluetooth. I was telling a friend of mine that there's always something. There's always something with all these Bluetooth devices. So, like our cars hook up automatically sometimes to the Bluetooth in here. I don't know why. I mean, we're in the attic, and the garage is all the way down, down the mountain here.
Mm-hmm.
And I was on a therapist call, and my Bluetooth hooked up to our other car, and I was like, what's going on? I can't hear. And I'm just talking. I couldn't hear my therapist. And I was like, no, they're letting me really talk for a long time here.
Dang.
I didn't realize it was hooked up to the car. I know. What do you do? There's always something. So anyway, thank you for joining us, spending your afternoon, evening with the Green Girl Studios gang here in Asheville. So I wanted to show a little bit. I worked a little bit more on my necklace. So I worked on this. This is the Water Lilies kit you guys saw, and I added some of these links. And it's kind of the inspired by Sundance. Remember we were working on that? So I'm going to flip the camera around and get this going. Since we had a little bit of a delay, I'm going to get the lead out here and get started. All right. Take me a minute.
All right, should be fixed now. How about now, y'all?
I was talking, Cherie. How about now, y'all? Yeah, we don't have a mic going. Okay, how's it now? Sometimes I feel like throwing the laptop through the window.
It's extremely annoying, but you know what?
It's when you share devices. So we share, and so Max hooks up his Oculus to this, and he should just use Greg's laptop.
I guess so. I didn't know that this was going to happen, but I guess he messed with the audio settings for his game or something.
Yeah, let's not let that happen again. But that's what happens when you do sharing. That's why I have a thing that says I don't like to share, even though I don't mind sharing. When I say that, yeah, actually, what am I saying? I don't like sharing my stuff, like my technology, I guess. But and then my iPad got taken over. I don't get to see that anymore. I used to be able to use it. Oh, okay. So let's see. Gift. We're doing gift again. You should have done gift with a different hashtag, because if you do gift with a different hashtag, you might have difficulty remembering who's who.
No,
So-
I put dates on the
Oh,
thing.
give me the ones for the. Oh, here they are. So we have 2 mushroom babies. No, it's not the It's not the internet. Because we're hooked up directly into the router. It's because Azalea let Max use the
No, it doesn't get confusing because I put dates with the names. And also, it doesn't even matter because I don't put the hashtag either way. I always put people's names and what they won.
Oh,
So it doesn't matter.
all right. So this is the win today, right here. So put in hashtag gift, no uppercase, no,
It's an easy thing to type.
just easy.
So that's why I keep doing it again and again because it's just easy.
All right. Well, hello, my friends. I see June. Hello, June. Sherry says sharing is not always caring. Isn't that the truth? Sharing can sometimes be a pain in my hind end. But that's what happens. All right, so let's do a different one. I'm kind of bored looking at this. So this is I think Azalea did a sale with that. That's what's left. That's this. And I'm going to finish this. I don't know if I like this. I might redo it. It's okay. I don't know. So I want it to be longer. I want to add a few more links. I want to put that in there, but I also want to make it so that I can turn it any direction, so this could be in the front or that could be in the front. So I'd probably do something, if I know I'm always going to wear it the same direction, then it kind of doesn't matter. And you can just do like something plain for the back side. Kathy says it is very unique. Thank you. I think that's a good thing. I feel like that's a good thing. It has a lot of a lot of negative space. This empty part, they call that negative space. So it has a lot of that going on. So it gives it a more airy look. So how about in this next round of making, I picked all these things out because I thought they'd look good with it. I picked out this. And you know what? My friend Joanne had a good question. She said, so how do you know what to use if you're going to use Softlex or if you're going to use something like, I'm digging around behind me to look at this. All right, I'm trying to find a good example. All right, so this is Softlex on this. And where's something here? Excuse me. And this is Ceylon. So she asked me, how do you know what cord is best to use with the type of beads you're going to do? And that has a direct correlation with what kind of beads you're using. So if you have, for example, these kind of have a sharp right here. See these? I don't know. Let's get in there close so you can see. I would use, and these are kind of gappy. This is one of the ones that I did and my hand slipped. And there's a little bit of a space. You can see it's like a millimeter, so it's not that big. If this bugged me, or if I was going to put this for sale, I would probably do something to fill that gap. The thing you want to remember is if it's sharp, if you have a metal bead like this, it could wear away something like this right in here. So this is Ceylon. Now, if I didn't like this, this is one that I've been wearing this for a long time. And it has I was looking around to see, is there any gappy points? That has a little bit of a gap here. So sometimes if you don't stretch between some of the beads, like give it a little pull, you can get where there's a stretch after wearing it. Like the weight of the beads will cause it to stretch a little bit. So what you want to do is have something like for this, I'd say there's some expensive beads on this. So knotting in between on nylon, like you can knot soft flex too. So that's, that's an option as well. But I have some very expensive beads on this. This is like handmade glass. That's not particularly expensive. It's probably $2 or $3. But this one's an expensive one. This is called a Dutch opalescence bead. And this probably is like $5 or $6 per bead wholesale. So that I consider kind of an expensive bead. And I have, let me see what else. These are kind of pricey. These are antique glass. There's a lot of antique glass on this. There's some, like, what's this? This is handmade glass from my friends. I think Donna made this one. I think I bought that from when Donna's was at the Oakland show. Amber and Fuchsite. And oh, look at this one. That's a good one. The reason one of the reasons is if you have something that breaks or gets pulled, the whole necklace doesn't come apart. Like something like this, if I snagged it, these beads, all of them would fall off. And I don't want that to happen. But you'll see that some of this is sharp. Like some of these are sharp, like the edges. And they can wear away silk, cotton, hemp, that type of thing. So the weight of the beads, the sharpness of the holes, and kind of the preciousness too, I would say, is a factor. Excuse me. Oh, Carolyn says, I'm thinking that heavy stones need more support. Now you could, and I've done this, where you take some soft flex, if you want the fluidity of this and you want you want it to have a nice kind of sinuous quality that you get with this. Like this has more of it's more fluid. It's more wearable, I feel like. Let me see if there's another one. All right, you've seen this necklace. This is tourmaline and labradorite. And really, I'm going to redo this. This necklace is probably 20 years old. Check out that tourmaline, though. I mean, this piece particularly is good. They call that, when it's like this, they call it like water mom. This color is called indicolite. It's a teal. It's one of the rarest and most expensive of the stones. Look at that one. Yeah, this was not a cheap date for reals. I did what's called high grading, and this is the whole strand, but I pulled off all the dark black tourmaline and just got the juicy goodness for my necklace. I still have the black tourmaline in a case somewhere. It didn't get used. This is a type of kyanite. So these are both soft flex. And I was just saying, hey, you gotta, you want the weight and the expense of the stone to be a factor. But I'm going to redo this one because this was before I knew how to knot. Mary says no sound again. Let's see. On YouTube. Can you do a check? Daughter?
I'm running out of things that I need to do. I've changed the audio about 5 times. I'm not even, I don't even know what I'm going to do this time.
Katney says I can hear. Mary, check. Let's see.
Yeah,
is that?
on.
Yeah, we did a sound check. I'm not sure. Kathy says I have sound. So I'm not sure. All right. Yeah, I see. So then it might be for, let's see. I also have sound on YouTube. All right, let me see. Oh, Robin says, I saw Jess today wearing one of my necklaces. Yay, I need to see Jess. I miss her. All right. So let's start making something. Let me pull these out of the way and hang them back up behind me. Are these still on YouTube or on the website, little daughter? Those the metal?
Probably.
Okay.
Sold out, I'll have to check that. I'm very frustrated right now. This is the product of having stuff that's not well drilled, is that some fit and others do not on the wire that you've selected. Thin wire. And then both sides of the hole will be drilled, but then the middle part won't be drilled. Very tiring.
Katney says, I struggle hard not to be symmetrical. Well, let's talk about that. I'm making some space. Okay. Let's see. What kit should we use? Don't store your beads like me. Sometimes I do this. It can be very messy this way. This is a better... Okay, this is a better blend. All right, so one of the things, I'm going to try and find a place. Where can I put this? Hello, my friend. I see you have a lot of new people have joined. Sorry if I missed saying hello to you. I see Kathy. Hello, Katney. Hello, Karen. Hello, Cherie. Hello, Sherry. Jeanette. Hello. See, I thought I saw my friend Clem on here. Hello, Clem. Hello, my friend. Hello, Cindy. Alice. Hello, Alice. That was a good, you know what, Alice? I was looking at your necklace today. I was organizing my jewelry box. Let's talk. No, it was a long necklace. It's one I got in Fresno. Oh, I love these. Do you guys remember these when David Christensen used to make them? Anybody remember that? That's a blast from the past. Those have great big holes, though. Do I want to use that? I don't know. Wrong shape. All right. Oh, Alice says, oh, cool. Glad you like it. You know, I get a lot of use out of that. I feel like it's a good one for layering. I layer that necklace all the time. So I'm just going to put stuff out that I'm drawn to, immediately drawn to. And this is what I have, some leftover beads. And what I'm going to do, in my mind, I have it where I want to do something kind of small amount of beads in the front. I'm going to use Softlex. And I'm going to do that thing where I do the loops on the top. That's my vision. That's on my vision idea. So we'll see what else I come up with. Digging around here. Oh, Nancy says, we missed you guys at the Sand Beach Shop Tucson meetup. You know, I'll tell you, I wanted to go to that, but that hit right before we were ready to fly. That was like the night before. And so, could do this like that, or it could be like this. I need a button. I need some kind of closure. Maybe this one. Kathy says a wooden bowl of goodies. Yeah. Yes. This is one of my standby designs. So this, what I'm thinking is kind of like, Caroline says, so with C-Long, we need to make sure we don't have sharp holes in the stones or glass. You can work around that by knotting or putting a bead to buffer it on the ends. And that'll help with that. So this one's a double strand, but see how I have it where I have two beads at the end. They're like kind of like my anchors, and then I just did the rest with chain. And that's because this is going to be on your neck. Do we really need to bead all the way up? I don't want to say it was laziness, but it's like I was in a hurry. Karen says, what about Fireline? Well, for Fireline, I believe Fireline, if I'm not mistaken, Fireline is also supposedly supposed to be very, it's like a twisted cord, very fine twist. And so I feel like that one, you would also try to buffer your beads with some other kind of something with a softer shape, if that makes sense. I'll just demonstrate it. I'll just demo that, what I'm talking about. Of course, now that I'm talking, My throat is so dry. Katney says, I have long hair, so I feel like the neck should be low profile. Yeah, I don't want a big, I don't know. I get lazy when it comes to the back of my neck. But I have, my fashion lately has been to make necklaces. You guys see me wear this one all the time. It's my favorite of the month, maybe the last few months. Does anybody do that where you wear a necklace until you just don't wear it anymore? And then you pick it up and then you put it away again. This one, I can twist it any which way I want. Sometimes I'll put this in the front. Sometimes I put this side in the front. And it's like my go-to. The other thing that I've done, and this is going to sound, I don't know if other people do this, but if you have a button or your loop and you have two necklaces, sometimes you can put them together. Let me see if I've got one over here. I had one earlier. Sometimes you can put two of them together and loop the opposite. Like this one's not going to fit, but like you can extend it. I mean, you wanted to make it where it kind of matches, but you see what I mean? You can kind of double them up that way. And I like doing that. So, all right. So what I'm doing is I'm making my pile. You know how I like to make piles of beads in the colors that I like. I'm going to need more. Pat says, I put them together. Yeah, I do that too. It's fun. You know what? Will these work? I love them. Maybe they will work. I was going to show this. I have this massive pile here of beads. Yeah, I like these. These might work too. I was going to move my camera over, but it's kind of a pain to move it over. Yeah, it's too far. It's too far to go. Oh, hello. I forgot about you. Maybe I'll put that in there. This is one that I painted. Carolyn says, Firelink comes in pound weight for what beads you are using. Yeah, you could do that. I think that's the, like this one, the test strength is 21 pounds of pressure to break it. I feel like you'd actually need more, but Wendy says, the only thing I worry about with those loops is that it may get caught in the teeny neck hairs as there is teeny bit of play between. Yeah, that sometimes you want to put those, if you have them, then you might want to consider using something with a smoother finish. Like these are smoother. Yeah. Diane says, because it's for fishing. Yeah, it was for fishing, but the same thing still counts. You still have to consider it. Although you don't want, I have a nightmare of, I don't want any of my stuff to be too well made where I accidentally get hurt because I get hung on. I fall down and get my necklace caught, and it's so well made that I have problems.
That's a nightmare, and you've mentioned that before. Is there something that you saw or read about that's happened to somebody that gave you that idea?
Isadora Duncan.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's how she passed away. Was she was famous for wearing super long scarves, and the scarf got wrapped around the axle while she was driving, and that's what happened. So it's, you know, there's a lot. They make necklaces now. They don't make them where, like, I know many bead artists that make them where you can pull through. Like I made this chain, and this got caught on something, and it got caught on the, like, I don't remember what I got caught on, like a drawer handle. I was leaning over, maybe it was in the kitchen. I don't remember exactly. It's been several years and I haven't fixed it yet, but it got caught. Like I was leaning down, and I think it got caught on the kitchen handle or door little knob. And when I stood up, the necklace, it took a second. Like I had to sit there, and I thought, man, that could have been something. And it broke, or it bent. So I made this little, I know it's horrendous, but at the time I was actually kind of relieved because this bent like this and it didn't choke me out. So that was a good thing. So I like these links, I wire wrap them so well that the links are fine, but that connection was enough where it pulled free and it didn't like strangle me.
Dang.
Cecilia says, that's what it is. Breakaway chain. There it is. Yeah, you don't want that to be the case. So I am making this, putting things in here. Where's another one of this? I need more of that. Let me see if this is too much. Yeah, I don't want to be, I don't know. Oh, Wendy says, I have a lot of magnetic closures. Yeah. So let's see.
I like a magnetic closure.
Let's take a look. That could be cool. So I could do either one of these for my connection point. I'm planning on doing something like this to be like here, right? So this could be chain on the end. It could be leather, could be silk, could be more of this action, could be that, you know, like way at the top, like this. And this could be Ceylon, that could be Softflex, whatever's faster. I think with this, when it's lightweight, it doesn't have to be like, it doesn't have to be particular with it. All right. What's Wendy saying? Ironically, the necklace with the magnetic closure broke right next to it at the darn crimp. Ugh. I don't like that story. Which do I like better? This gives me more Sundance vibes. Same with this. You know, they're always throwing in crosses. That could be a Sundance feeling. This could also, this is more beachy, I feel like. So what I'm doing now is I'm plotting and planning. And I'm making the pile. I could do 2 strands, and that could work pretty fast. So when you're working this way, the way I did that one necklace was I started at one end and did this. Let's see if I can, how quickly I can do this. I'll pretend like I'm on I'm on with Rachel, because she's good at keeping me on the level and working quick. All right. Robin, were you at the that market in Marin County? Is that where you went? That's where you saw Jess? It's gonna be about that long. It should be good. I don't need to cut it quite yet. All right. Trying not to cough. Oh, the French market. Yeah, I liked that one. That was good times. This one would be good for it. Let me see. These are my options that I'm drawn to. This could be a good one too. I don't know. I pulled these because I thought they had the most Sundance flavor. I could also use this one at the top too, instead of this. So I could just use one and have something on this end if I didn't want to make it kind of heavy. The more metal beads you add, the heavier it can get. So what you want to do is kind of look at your design and see where it's going. I have some big beads here. So I have to ask myself, how heavy do I want this to be? Now I can take some of the load off by putting this on there, and I could do a double strand. That could be cool. And I've done that, and it looks really good. It also looks good with something small. Let's see if I can pull this. This would be kind of opulent.
I like opulent.
I do too. Opulent's my favorite story. You guys like these healing vibes? It's like space healing vibes.
I like it.
Yeah, I do too. It's a good feeling. You know, putting things in bowls like I do sometimes means that then it's kind of a mess. This could be pretty, but this would be tedious. These are little opals. Yeah, you could double it. Leather would be, I have some deer hide somewhere that a friend of mine did. They call it brain tan leather, because I guess it makes it real extra soft. I've never done it. I mean, I helped scrape a hide one time, but I didn't personally do it. All right, so these colors, I say it's kind of neutral. Not that this blue is a neutral. Let me get another a little tighter. What else do I have in here? So I like to pick everything first. I know that if I did something like this, I could put it where there's a jump ring. And you know what I like to do with these types of things is a contrasting color or metallic to do. Maybe let's see. Like this, you have to visualize it like that as the connection point. And I'd use a little loop of Softlex, and that works really well. So then you can put it on. You can kind of do it after. If you have one of these, you don't have like this, you kind of have to do it right at the stringing time. If you have one like this, gives you more option because it's a hole, it's just a hole, and then you could put a jump ring, you could put wire, you have it's a little more forgiving. Not as much with something like this or this. So let's see. I'm going to eliminate the ones. I think I'm going to eliminate this one. There was my elimination. I took away one idea. Oh, Wendy says, Melanie, loved your leather accents and those bracelets you made. Yes, those were really beautiful. Cecilia says, too many options gets overwhelming. Yeah, you should see my studio. It does get overwhelming, but I kind of like to have choices.
Yeah, it's good. I like it too.
All right, I'm just gonna get started. So for my button, I think I'm going to choose. I need to just choose something. Daughter, help me pick.
What are the options here?
Come look. So here are my closures. I have 3 closures to pick from that I have. Those are the 3 closures. These are the bead pile. Okay, so that meant, all right, we'll remove those, put them in the bag. She likes stars. You know the only drag part about that? I love this bead, but it means I have to make a bigger loop.
If not that one, then do the heart button. Because I like the heart button too. Heart lock.
It's a little lighter. I mean, it's not that much heavier. It's a little easier. A little easier.
The necklace kind of pink?
Moon with the star. Oh, that's cute. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, there you go. It's pink. But I have so many of necklaces with that.
With what?
That moon face. I love it.
You could do the heart clasp or the heart lock with that pink one since it's a heart.
So what do y'all think? I see people saying heart. I see Sandra says moon. What's the verdict? I'm going to put like this much, I think. Oops. And this is Softlex. I've been using this all week. Hello, Anne. Hello. Thank you for joining me. And it's deer hide leather. Oh, deer hide. Nice and soft. Okay, so it's going to be 2. It's going to be like a 2-strand. And it's going to be like this. So when you're doing this, you remember you want to put smalls at the connection point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a clip. Where'd that clip go? Here you are. You know what I cleaned in here? My friend Joanne, she came in here and she was like, let's just do it. And I was like, all right. She's good like that. I'm not good at keeping on track with things. I don't know if this is anyone else has this issue, but I just realized I don't like to talk about it very much because it makes me feel kind of strange, like I should have known. But I discovered that ADHD is in my life and I didn't realize it. And then everybody's like, oh, I thought you knew. And then it's kind of awkward. And I'm like, I didn't even think, because you think of people that are really really active and hyper, you know. But my issue is the inattentive type. All right, so I have a bag of these guys. You know, I need to organize these into something. Oh, there they are. But sometimes I do not want to do the things that I need to do, and I want to do things that are more amusing. Does that make sense? Katney says, don't we all have ADHD to some degree? Probably. I just listened to a podcast by Mel Robbins, and they were talking about it being a metabolic thing. And I was like, you got to be joking. Really? It's like, is everything connected? I shouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I just didn't realize, you know. And then, you know, it kind of made me feel like such, I don't want to say failure. Failure is the wrong word. But there are times that I just did not get things. It's like really hard for me to stay organized. And I love the hunt. I don't know if anybody else is like that. I like starting projects. I need to put my glasses on here. All right. So anyway, I was listening to this Mel Robbins podcast, and they were talking about, I don't know if you guys know or like Mel Robbins, but she's one of my favorite podcasters. She talks about a lot of stuff that like things that you deal with every day. And then she goes and finds some specialist and then asks all the questions that, you know, might be. I'm just going to dig some of these out of here. This can be tedious, I will say. Sometimes this is not my favorite part of doing. Are these little teeny little silver beads. These ones are brass that have been plated. And they're kind of squashed. So this is the texture you get. Let me see, that light is a little strong. Okay, I'm going to move this because it's glinting in my eyes. So look at how these lay. So this one, these are kind of hard to string. I will sometimes do a mix and match. I found this the other day. And then I'm like, how much? Okay. I think these feel like, I don't know, they don't feel heavy enough to be sterling. They might be plated. So I'm going to find some on here that are a little easier to string on this. And that reason being is just I don't have the patience right now to sit here and deal with that. Those little itty bitty. I mean, the reason is they have a squashed hole, which is kind of annoying. You know, and usually I like to do this one where you have everything kind of like this, and then you go like this. Kathy says she has podcasts. You know, I think she started out as a motivational speaker, I want to say. I did not discover her until, I don't know, not that long ago. Probably 2020. I don't know. I feel like it was during a lockdown. Oh, Wendy says, just listen to a seminar of a researcher in the UK who was trying to prove links between ADHD and some autoimmune disorders, mast cells. That's interesting. You know, I feel like a lot of that is so interconnected. Your food, your exercise, all that stuff is connected. And I was advised to exercise, a lot of exercise, and I've been doing that. It does not come naturally to me. I will say that right now. I like going on walks, but going to the gym and like getting on a treadmill, man, that is not something I enjoy. I got to make myself do it. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to get this going here that will fit it. See that? So that's not gonna work because I need a little bit more. I have this one end clamped so things don't just go rolling down the mountain. they make a spinner thing. Like any, you know, you don't have to use these metal ones. I don't know why. I'm into them lately. I'm into those or these. Like, I love how these look. Although I think with a clasp, when you use I think of this as load bearing. So I really like to use metal connection point, because sometimes the seed beads can get rubbed, like the finish can get rubbed off by the clasp, the button, and I don't like that story. All right, let's see if it fits. You got to make sure it fits through the widest point. You don't want it to be loosey-goosey, but you also don't want it so tight it's hard to get your necklace on and off. So I don't want it to be too big of a hole. Let's see how it fits. So you want it the widest point. I think I'm going to take off a few. I'm going to take off maybe. Yeah, the gym, I don't know. You know, I'm not a gym person. And I've had memberships that it was like throwing money in a hole where I could watch it lay down at the bottom. I'm better with like riding a bike or something. All right, so I have a crimp here. Testing the fit. Seems like it's a good fit. Oh, hello, my friend. Hello, Anne. All right, I'm going to seal that off. I'm going to put this where it's even. I'm not going to use all of it, so it doesn't really matter if it's perfect, because I'm going to chop off probably 2 inches of that anyway. Oh, Karen says, I've done Pilates and have Pilates equipment since 1990. That's good. That's good. Now I'm going to walk over here. Get my handy dandy crimping pliers. I'm going to try and make sure these don't get folded or twisted, I should say. You don't want your crimp fold or to get. Okay. There, I did it that time. Caroline says, Pilates sounds good. I'm into stretching. Yeah, that's good, because, you know, sometimes it's not something like, sometimes you don't want to do it. So this part here is very tight. There's not many beads will fit. So what you want to do is spread out the soft flex a little, give yourself a little space. What's up with this light? Keeps getting higher and higher. Okay, balance it over here. That's better, but you know what? It's like, it's kind of, now for me, it's not that, like on the video, it looks really like natural, but for when I'm looking at, I'm like, oh my God, now I'm working in the dark. Maybe I need to wear like my Optivisors or something. All right, I'm going to put a few here to fill that space. So with this type of work, if you have a problem doing, like, you're like, oh, I just want to do symmetrical. So this type of thing is probably pretty good to make a pile. I'm making it in a, I don't want to say random. It's not quite random, because I'm going to do like shapes. I'm thinking of shapes here. And so the first set of shapes, I want to be able to not have this like clogged up in a big space. So if you put a big bead here, it's going to not sit correctly. It's going to be off balance. So whatever kind of small bead, I want the smallest ones I have, and I have these readily available right here. So I'm going to grab a few and put them on there. And you want them even smaller than, say, like these would be probably like size 8 seed beads. Wendy says, I need the visual stimulation of something while I'm working out or I get bored. Walking is perfect. I would agree with that. I love a good walk. I walk pretty much every day. Today we went somewhere new. We went on a bike ride and we went to Travelers Rest, South Carolina. That was pretty fun. And then there's a random little, I can't tell what that is. Oh, Smoky Quartz. And I'm going to put in, see how it's kind of small? I want my smalls to be at this connection point. Once they get to this area, then it's a little bit easier to kind of get, you know, you could put whatever you want because you're not limited by size. Here I am because I'm trying to figure out, I'm trying to be in this kind of tight space here. Like it's basically a corner. Oh, hey, don't forget, y'all, this is the hashtag gift for this little thing here. Not cute. It's a mushroom baby. And the hole for it is hidden right up. Can you see it? It's hidden right there. All right. Oh, Katney says, love your nature videos. I go out every day. It's good. Good for your spirit. It's good for your brain. I also listened to something that said if you do like 10 minutes of good exercise, it's good for brain. It's like giving your brain a bubble bath of energy. And I was like, that's kind of an interesting way to think about that. So right now I'm just grabbing beads from different parts of my desk that fit. And I'm trying to go in the same kind of palette, which is kind of neutrally. Where'd that one go? Here we go. Ooh, sorry. Put a few in. And I'm not being overly precious, partly because if I take too long, like it took forever to do that little loop. I should have done it before we even started, so it would be done. But I get questions about it, so I wanted to make sure that I answered those questions. You also notice that I didn't put equal amounts on this side. There's 3 on this side and there's 5 on the lower hand side. So that already takes the balance of the piece and it's not symmetrical. So let's go and look closely. You see what I've done here? So there's only like 3 on the top, 5 on the bottom. And now, since I've made the space, I can go in and start doing a blend of beads, some that'll fit. And it depends on how big of an amount you want this kind of like this drop to be. So let's see, probably like this would be good. You could put a dangle here too. Katney says yes, and it fits better together. And Kathy says, are you doing the front or the back? I'm doing the front. This is going to be right at, say, if you could picture it, right at your collarbone. This is going to be hooked up to another thing, possibly a thing of seed beads, maybe chain, maybe leather. I'm not sure yet. We're just going to do that until and make some space. So this is the front. And what I'm doing is I'm just kind of placing beads. As you know, I'm probably going to end up doing a color shift because I cannot even stop myself. But at this point, it hasn't happened yet. Like it's kind of, right now it seems kind of random. I'm just putting things in to see how it looks, testing, taking things apart. But as far as you want to have the smaller beads at the corner here, so you get bunchy. And I mean, bunchy is what looks like, the fit is just not right. You know, I don't know how else to describe it. It just looks like it's like tight. It's sometimes, you know, I'm not one that's a very fast beater, especially when I'm on a live talking. feel like sometimes it can be hard to talk and beat at the same time if you're trying to concentrate and you're also trying to teach. So if you're looking at this and you're like, man, she can't get those necklaces done very fast, it can be challenging. It can be very challenging. And reading comments. Pat says, thank you for the excellent tips throughout this video. Great explanations as you teach us. Good, good. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. All right, I am continuing. Yeah, I like to juxtapose. I know everybody loves that word. I love using smooth and faceted. I feel like it looks good together. And you know what? Sometimes I'll make something like this and then I just will put it in a bag and I'll not even look at it again. That can happen. This is kind of big. I kind of want to take the big ones and put them towards this part. Nilda says, I like this style necklace. I never really seen it. Katney says, with the buttons you on each side, you can have one back and swap out the fronts. Yeah, you could easily. You could also use cord, chain, seed beads. I mean, really, there are no rules. Yeah, that looks pretty together. I mean, I guess the only rules would be you want it to look good, if that's a rule. Is that a rule? Don't make something ugly. Is that a rule? And then, of course, isn't that the eye of the beholder? So sometimes I like things that would be thought of as ugly. Like my mom, when she'd see me wear Birkenstocks, she would be like, why do you wear the old woman style? And I'm like, listen, Ma, they're comfortable. Just didn't get it. I don't like how that one's drilled.
Doesn't she wear something real similar?
No, she would squeeze her feet into something real tight. And I don't want to.
Her shoes slide right on. She makes those easy access.
I've never been one.
From the 1970s.
Like, I don't have hardly any shoes that would be considered in any way, shape, or form sexy. Let's just be real. They're like,
yeah, me neither.
The word performance is probably somewhere in there.
Oh, yeah, for your athleisure style.
It makes Kate grimace with displeasure. Let's see. I don't want to make one thing I don't want to do is make the top heavier than the bottom. And that big bead right there kind of gives me vibes that it's going to be too heavy. So I'm going to redo it. What time is it? 53. Dang. Robin says, LOL, I'm wearing Birkenstocks right now. Listen, I have the winter version, Allbirds. You guys probably have seen that. Super functional, where you can actually throw them in the washing machine. They're made out of wool. So functional. She's not, you know, that's like everybody's different. That's okay. Need to get back over. Oh, here it is. Forgot this tray was sitting right behind me. It's precariously balanced. I better not turn around too fast because this would be a nightmare if this fell down. Karen says, do you only use gemstones with a specific hardness so the stones don't chip? Whew. No, I don't. Sometimes I'm like, listen, if it chips, it chips. But because I like opals. Opals are not hard, and I will put those in there. The trick is to put them where they're kind of shielded. So if I have an opal, one of the things I'll do, okay, here's an opal right here. These are black opals. Let's see if you can see that. This one's not a very bright one. You can't even see the flash. In sunlight, you can see the flash all day long. But this is considered a soft one because they are soft. So what I would do with, if I have some, like a round one is not going to, it's very unlikely that'll chip. Ooh, check this out. This is from my friend Derek Lusk. This is from like he carved these. I bought a bunch of them. These were not a cheap date. They were like $50 a piece. But you know, they're hand carved and my friend did it. You can't see it in this light. You can't see the flash, but they're very rainbow bright flashy. This kind of light just kind of turns off the look or the flash. One way, Diane says, I always break my opals. Well, here's one thing you can do. You can sandwich them in like this, so that when they're strung, these beads get the brunt of it. Like if it gets laid down, one thing is that if you have them on a bracelet and you get knocked, like you bang it against a table, you can get in here like that. And then these guys that are hard will take the brunt. So it's less likely. If you have your big ones and they're kind of like out and, you know, they're not really shielded in any way, then, you know, that's kind of, you know, you just kind of design with that in mind. Clem says, relaxing is a sport. Well, if that were the case, I'd get like an award. Actually, no, I am, I'm like, when do I relax? I'm like, when I'm like, painting is kind of relaxing, isn't it? And then I was imagining myself painting this weekend. I'm like, it was not relaxing at all. It was very frustrating, actually. So y'all are probably like, man, Thornton, you are the slowest of the slow when it comes to stringing. And I would say I'm slow now because I'm picking and choosing. And I'm not even picking from the stuff that I picked earlier. I keep turning around and getting other things because I'm trying to subconsciously, not even subconsciously, I'm trying to do a color shift.
No.
All right, Azalea's like, okay, are you leaving me?
Nope, I'm right here.
Should we do the thing?
You want to show the stuff?
Yeah, I
I'm
should.
just gonna look for a class that hasn't sold.
Karen says, I replaced a few opals in a ring I was given. Yeah, opals are, listen, opals in a ring need to be protected because they do not want to be in a ring, even though they look good in a ring. They don't want to be in a ring because opals are soft. You could probably crunch them in your teeth.
That's a terrible idea.
Yeah, it is a terrible idea,
That
but
made me grimace.
well, yeah.
I've been working on a necklace. Did your light turn off?
I turned it down because it was shining too bright. It was like everything was too much.
This is what I've been doing this whole time.
You know, I keep redoing it because I'm like, I don't love how this looks. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Okay, so while I have this much of a necklace done, this is what I did, and I'm ready to redo it again. Little daughter.
I've only got one half done.
Look at this.
It's garnets and pink topaz.
Garnets
It
and
could be pink tourmaline. Because it's the same color as my ring.
That dude was telling us that he was swearing up and down that it was Spinel.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's Spinel.
I get confused. You're right. He was sworn
What's
up and down that it
this?
was not dyed. The stone
Girl, what you got? What you doing with this business? Here, let me clip that off for you.
That's just something that I got in Tucson a couple years ago. It's my little star.
Pat, can opals be faceted? Oh yes.
It's silver.
I mean, it is. It's pretty. Look at what she made. So look at this. That's what she's been doing.
Unless you want to carve me another one, that's better.
Nicely done,
I'll
little
take
daughter. Nicely done.
Oh, thank you. I love the garnets. These are the ones that we just sold from Tucson. I got to keep one little lot of them, and that's what I've made out of it is a necklace so far. I have to do the other side, but I'm almost done.
Opals can for sure be faceted. They can be faceted beautifully. Here's some right here. Check this business out. Feast your eyes on those. Those are faceted. Oh, Clem is asking, do you use the magic looper? Were you using the looper?
No, I'm just using these tools.
These are faceted. Those aren't a cheap date.
The magic looper doesn't wrap.
No, no, I would
show
not
you the
trust
Magic
the magic looper.
No, look at
Magic
this.
looper is
This is
only
what the
good for
magic
cheap
looper's good.
beads, I would say.
This is what the magic looper is good for. So I started putting this together for my cousin because he likes this. This is hemomorphite that we bought on accident in Tucson a couple years ago because it was in the bunch with Larimar.
See, it looks how bright it looks on the screen.
Yeah,
Turn it down.
it's okay. But yeah, it looked like Larimar, but it's actually hemomorphite. So I was making him a necklace out of it, and this is where you use the magic looper. If you look closely, it's not wrapped. It's just closed. But since these beads, these are just average 8mm, beads that we have sold before. The holes are gigantic, and this is 18 gauge wire. And so it's really hard. I can tug this all day long.
Oh.
All day
Yeah, you don't
long,
wanna
and
do
it's
that
fine.
with, like,
But
a
see,
soft sterling
hasn't
that's
even
like a
budged.
half hard-
But yeah,
half hard.
yeah, seriously, if you're going to use the magic looper, you have to use like thick or extremely stiff wire because in one tug will pull it all the way apart.
Yeah,
I
like
actually,
that.
over the summer, used those amber beads that we had sold by the strand, those really small ones that were like 3mm. And I had used the magic looper and like 22 gauge wire to put together a set of waist beads. And that thing broke like 6 times until I stopped wearing it. I was like, I'm just going to put this as a necklace. Because as waist beads, I make one rotation and then they snap off. But yeah, magic looper is good. There's one that you can do. They go from different ranges of wire size, but 18 to 20 gauge wire is where it's at. And you want to, this is copper and then plated. So that's what I use. And it works.
Good. That's good. That looked good.
Thank you.
Good job.
Appreciate it.
I love these. Look at them there. Oh, can you see that? That's that Lodolite quartz. I call it pond water because it reminds me of a frozen. Do you ever? I don't know if anybody else did this, but the pond water. Oh, let's see. Kind of looks like that. Like it says algae. So that's what I'm doing right here. Right here. Looks pretty good. All right. Folks, if anybody's been waiting for me to answer or do something, just remember, sometimes I can be slow on the draw with some things. Occasionally, I don't want to say all the time, but when I'm sick, I just sleep.
Yeah, same. We were sleeping a lot because we were real sick.
And I'm just now getting over it. You could probably tell I'm all gravelly. Sound like I drink whiskey. I don't drink whiskey. I actually can't remember the last time I drank alcohol. I do like a mojito on occasion. Oh, that's right. We had cocktails with Betsy. Remember that?
You also had a small drink with Kate.
Oh, that's right.
So you only ever have it on like
special occasions.
Yeah, special occasions when they were doing it for a live.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always like, oh man, I hope I don't say something goofy, so it can be forever preserved on video.
It's okay.
That's looking good. I want the top layer to be a little bit shorter, so I'm planning that. See, I'm doing that like this. Oh, there, Clem. You drank some wine with me in SF. Well, that's because I'm at Jess's Wine Bar and she has access to all kinds of good wine, fancy wines. That's right. I forgot about that. And I do like a glass of wine every once in a while if someone's going to pick it for me. That one looks bigger than this one. I know they're the same size, but visually, it's fine. Oh, sangria. You know, I have a good recipe for a peach sangria. If anybody's interested, I should write that down. I was telling Azalea about it. She said, I don't know if I'd like it. It's like my friend what's my friend? Juanita. Not Juanita. Juana. She says, it's very refreshing, Cynthia. Thank you. Just to make it in Tucson when we'd have parties. All right, let me see. Oh my God, it's already after an hour. We've been going an hour. All right, so I'll finish this up. You guys get the idea, or we can pick this up on Wednesday. we had planned, Azalea and I had talked about where we could do like play dates where we just do a Zoom, but we didn't figure it out, you know, because as you probably have realized,
Not tech savvy.
technology is not where I excel. All right, so I'm going to take this tray. I'm going to move this tray out of the way so I can do another tray. Running out of space. I have a baker's tray, and I'm going to clean it off and put it over here so that when I'm doing a project, I can just slide them into the tray. Oh, that's dingy. We'll put this here. Oh, Azalea was going to do flower making. When were you going to do flower making? We talked about it.
I'm not sure. I was a bit too tired to do it today. I'm very low energy. Had a lot of shenanigans.
All right, let's do. So I have some things that were in our live sale a while ago. Let's see. So this is a sterling silver. This says an unbreakable heart. This is one of my older designs. So it looks armored. It's sterling. So if you're interested in this, yeah, I'll get that, that recipe for you. It's a good recipe. I have it in my book. So this is lot 467. This is a nice, heavy, unbreakable heart. Best sellers, but in silver instead of pewter. Of course, if you want the pewter one, we have it on our website. The silver, of course, has, it's silver. So it's just luxurious, and it has that golden sort of sheen in the cracks. You see that? You could patina this. It's just a harder metal. So that's $467 if you're interested. Okay, I'm going to put it aside. Oh, where did those, need to get those back in the game. The hashtag for this gift. Okay, don't forget, put your hashtag in, y'all. We're going to do 2 drawings. Oh, this is new. I had time to do this. Okay, so you can see the glow. That's how you check the presence of chromium. These are rubies. They're faceted rubies. Check that out. This won't work if it's pink, like, what you call it, like sapphires. Let me see. So these are not, this kind of looks like a ruby right here. It's not a ruby. Like that little bit, this is fuchsite. You can see that presence of chromium. So rubies will do that glow. So I have, how many do I have? This is 513. I have 5. I split the strand up, weighed them. So the sizes are between, there's some smalls in there that are about 3 millimeter wide. I think they're all about that. And then some of them are a little bit like bigger, like this. You can see. So there's some small ones, but I broke them up in even piles. If you would like some of these delicious rubies, I have 5 of these. I split the strand. I have a couple more strands if you'd be interested in a full strand. I have a couple full strands, but I had a lot of folks message about, hey, do you have any more rubies? So these are a good size for earrings. They're a good size for, if you're going to add, I have threader earrings that I've made in the past, and one on the bottom is perfect. So it's a good value, very good value. This was like a 70 carat weight necklace that I cut into 5. So this is 513 if you're interested. Now, if you are watching on replay, you can send a message to greengirlstudios@yahoo.com. Don't send it to my Facebook. I don't check messages all that often. So just keep that in mind. So if you
send it to my Facebook.
Or you could do to Azalea's Facebook. Either way, I'll forward it to her so she gets it. All right, so I have this little ring. that is sterling as well. They call this an Ouroboros. An Ouroboros. I don't know the where that came from. I think it's, it's probably from Latin. And anyway, this is $26. It's actually a very good price on that. Solid silver, $4.83 if you're interested. This would be a good one to do as a charm holder. You could put a loop at the top. You could wear it as a ring. I made it so that it was multifunctional. All right, $4.83. This is cute. Gosh, I haven't seen this. Where'd this come from?
Which one is it?
The kitty. Look how cute it is.
Yeah, silver kitty.
All right, so this is a good size silver kitty bead. I actually looked on Etsy and eBay at the prices of some of the beads and took a look. I want to be competitively priced. I don't want to be like, I thought, hey, is this too much? These are actually, if you compare prices for the weight of these beads, that's a very good price. I want y'all to go at some point, look up how much Pandora beads are. Just take a moment and think about that. Pandora beads are half this size. They run about like this, and they're over $50 easily. And we have, like, look at the weight. Look at that. And it's detailed all the way around. Nobody else is going to have that because I also we made this one. Vivian says the cover you just put on the table. Oh, Vivian, you're correct. I did make this on a live. This is a wet felted piece. Sometimes this light is, I got this. Let me turn down that light a little bit. There we go. That's a little too much. So it's $4.81. If anybody's interested, that kitty. Let me see. I'll put that right there in case you're watching it. Oh, Melanie says Pandora has nothing on GGS. Thank you. I appreciate that. I have two of these little bird nests, and it says home on the back side. Oh, Wendy, thank you for pointing that out. It's also, I would like you all to know, they're not plated. They're completely solid silver. So this is a little bird's nest, lot 511, and this was based on, if you can believe it, an actual hummingbird nest that I found in a bush. And I didn't touch it because I didn't want to ruin it, but I took pictures of it, and it was literally that size. It was the cutest thing I'd ever seen. I'll put that right there so y'all can see it. Oh, I forgot that we did a run of these. So this one, if you know someone that likes platypi, this is a big bead. Look at the size of it. It's a little chunker. And I made this in the style. This style where they look like they're hanging on is called ojime. And what that means, it's a Japanese term for the slider bead that fits over these boxes called inro that kimonos don't have pockets. So those slider beads were used to keep those boxes that held money and spices and herbs and things closed. So this is $4.78. It is a little bit bigger. So we just, we didn't add a lot for our labor on there. These are actually a lot of work. And so the majority of this is in the cost of metal itself. Oh, thank you, Clem. Clem says, I have that nest and I adore it. Yes, it is. It is very charming. So if you'd like a platypus, you know what? I also read about platypi. Their fur it fluoresces under ultraviolet light. Isn't that crazy?
Like a ruby.
Like a ruby. Oh my God. They're so cool. Yeah. They have a little spur on the back of their heel to defend themselves, like a little poison spur. This is one of my all-time favorites. Listen, this is an old one. I made this when I was probably 22 years old. I went through a phase in my youth when I painted owls, and I put a little star on their belly because it's, they're like, it's like bubo. And I know how to say that in Latin. It's owl is a bubo, just like in Clash of the Titans. I have one. It's $38. Talk about a steal. That's $4.84. Look at that, detailed all the way around. Even little feet. Isn't that cute? I know, that's a good one. You put this one on a head pin. You could put this on like a slide. You could slide up and down. Charming. Very charming. Put that over here. I need to actually move some of these out of the way. And I was putting there so I wouldn't get them confused. What I've already done. Okay, I have this. This is a good one. This one's a heavy one. That's why the price. So this is $4.82. This is the home nest or the family bead. And look, on one side, you have a little nest of eggs. And on this side, you have a little bluebird. Isn't that cute? Home, family. 62. It's $4.82. This is one of our best sellers. People love this bead. It's a good one in pewter. So I've got a bunch of these silver beads. So if you guys are interested, that's what's happening. Big silver collection. This is $4.79. This is a sterling gargoyle. It's not cute. He's detailed all the way around, just like you know how we like to do that. I saw a bunch of gargoyles. This one is a unique design. If you look at his little face. If you know someone that loves Notre Dame, $4.79. Let's see what else I have over here in my little collection. I did that cat. Excuse me. All right, I have this little sugar skull. That's what that's called. He's smiling. He's detailed. Look at the back side of his head. Looks good. Solid silver, $4.80. It's a solid silver sugar skull bead. That's the sound he makes, by the way.
Making your cat sounds on public live.
Yeah, well, people, they like it, maybe. Maybe they don't. Sometimes I can't help it. I make sounds. Okay, this is one of my favorites. This one is a bronze, and I have two. This is $4.68. Hand carved, hand cast, bronze. Look at his feet, his little toes, detailed. Here's his face. He looks concerned, but he's a happy frog. So that's $40, and it's $4.68. Has a beautiful warm color. Delightful. Wendy says sound effects are free. That's right. Ooh. So this is a big one. So prepare yourselves. So this is a nice, like a little mystical snake I made. I read a story. I don't remember what the story is from, but I'll think of it later. But I was so bewitched by this story that had this giant opal snake that had the designs of the universe on it. I don't remember the story. Maybe somebody out there remembers it. I read and listen to a lot of books. So it comes from like a fantasy. Maybe there's some space element. I don't know. But it's a big bead and it's solid silver. This is $4.76. I have two. Probably won't make this again because it's a lot of. Sometimes when you get a big chunking amount of silver, sometimes they blow the flask out trying to make them because they're so heavy. I don't think this is super duper heavy, but if you wanted something that would be like a prized amulet for someone, like men like this is one that's a totally unisex design. I saw a lot of these at craft shows, or not craft shows, more like art shows. Let me see if I can get in there and show you the details. But it's detailed all the way around. It's not overtly like a serpent. So anyway, I have two. Probably won't make them again. $4.76. All right.
Yeah, whenever we do a silver one, we usually do pendants and dangles.
I rarely do big beads because they take up, I'll be honest. And not that I'm not always honest, but I don't even know why I said that. I tend to sell more of things like this. So this is a bronze clasp. The clasps are more work in that I've got to go in there and dig out all this extra and, clean up the holes and things. But they're lighter weight, so the price is a little bit better. And so we tend to make more of things that are in this price range. I don't tend to make the big stuff because it takes up, I can't make, I mean, in a flask, I can only fit like 12 of those, maybe at the most of these heavy ones. Otherwise, the flask is too heavy. So I have two, or no, how many do I have? I only have one of this, the bronze. I'll make more. So if I sell, I don't have deep stock of anything because this is what we'll make in a week. If you see something and you're like, I didn't get it because there might be 5 people angling to get one. If that's the case, you can shoot us an email and we can put you on a list. Or more often than not, Azalea will make notes of what people are into. All right, this is a really charming thing. This is one I made. I've made this several times because I love it. So there is a Japanese artist that carves pearls, right? So they are delightful. They're utterly delightful. So I made this so I could have that same feeling, but without having to. I mean, I didn't copy their skull. Not that you could not that you could trademark a skull, but he puts them on a ring, and they're so cute. He puts them on like a wire, goes around the top. But I have 5 of these. 5, 12, $22. Now, if this were a Pandora bead, shoot, this would be like $80. Yeah, I know. It doesn't have a Pandora hole though, so just keep that in mind. It doesn't have a huge hole. This, I actually made this, and I put this one on Treasure Note. I think I might have one that has it on there. Look how good that would sit in there. You just take a look at that. Just picture it. We'll put that in place of this one. Isn't that cute? Adds a little bit extra flavor. Because then on this side, it looks like a pearl, but then it flips and there's a little face looking at you. Kind of like that, Memento Mori. That's like that, remember that we're fleeting. Not that I don't want to act like I always think about that, but I kind of like having those little reminders. It's like, you know what? You got plenty of time to sleep. Got plenty of time to be in the ground. So enjoy life while you can. Necklace. That kind of reminds me, I said that. And, when my stick, I stumble around when I'm walking. Not that I have any kind of balance issues. Sometimes I do. But I'll have my stick and I'll say, I have a walking stick and it saves me. And I'm like, stick. It's my walking stick. All right. I have these again. Azalea marked these down to 26. $470. They're bronze. They're beautiful. They work great. It's a good clasp. It's one of my, I think of it as like, it just elevates a necklace or a bracelet. It's one of those, like, even this part has a little bit of detail to it, like that little cloud spiral. Looks good when it flips. $26 for the sets, $470. I have 4. What didn't I show? Oh, this one. I guess I thought I sold these. So I made a bunch of them. I have one. Azalea has one. This is a little gremlin. We've marked it down a couple times. There's only 2. Actually, 2 of them in there? I thought there's only 1. Might be only 1 of these left. I don't know why it says mark 2. I only see 1 in the box. It's $469. It's $18. Look how charming that is. I can't even believe it's still here. If anyone wants to take this guy home, adopt him. Look at his little feet. Isn't that cute? He would do. There's so many people, like all the kids these days, making charm necklaces. Adorable. Put it on a charm necklace. It'll be great. Okay, I don't know about this one. if this is going to find a home ever, this might be something I have to make into something. So Greg carved this, and it, he was like, people are going to love it. And I was like, no one's going to want that. And I was wrong. People buy this, especially in the Halloween time. I sell the heck out of these in pewter. I know that price tag though kind of fills me with dread. It's $473. It's $76. I think I'm gonna mark it down. But anyway, if anyone wants it, I will. Let me see. Should I mark it down now? Maybe I'll do that. Where's my pen? Where's my markdown pen? I've had it for a minute. I have not. I think I've shown it one time before. Let me
Is that
see.
a full thickness Sharpie?
Yeah. Maybe.
I wish you luck.
Oh, okay. Give me another one.
I thought you had another one on your desk.
No.
All this organizing and no pens.
Well,
I
I took all the
for you.
pens off.
Take this one here. It's a good one.
Pardon me. Ah! Almost dropped it.
Dang.
Sorry. I was a little too vigorous. Let's slash it. I'll put it at 50. I want to move it. If there's any takers on that, I'm not going to make them again. 473. Somebody will want it.
Some horror nut out there.
There's somebody that likes horror and, like nightmare time. So, okay. Let me see. Do I have anything else? I am not going to put out. Azalea had some of these. I had a bunch of these perfume vials. I think I'll just save those for the next round of shows. So look at this locket. Look at this. Looks good, huh?
That looks good, huh?
Yeah. $4.89. Here's how it goes. Let's see. I don't know if I have any more of the snake ring, Michelle. I have some the teeny heads. Let's see. Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. So this is $512 for this. And just write it down in the lot, Michelle. I think the one I saw a lot of numbers come in for that snake, so I think that one's sold out. So if you're interested in this locket, it's $48. It's $4.89. Check it out here. This is how you do it right here. You open it up like this. There's a nut at the top. You spin it because this post is geniusly split. So you can open it up. You could put flowers. You could put a piece of a letter, a photograph, and the glass here is the type of like optical crystal so that it you can see how it slightly magnifies whatever's in there. They're really nice. And that's a fantastic price for that. All these types of things. I bought these ages ago, so the price is right on that. Labor goes up. All right, what's left? I think these guys, I might show one more of them. I have some left. I don't know if anybody's interested, but I think I just might make necklaces out of them. Oh, I have one eye left. Okay, anyone interested in a perfectly good blue eye? Check that out. Isn't that pretty? This is reading on, I'm looking at the computer screen, and it is showing as like a cerulean, but it is actually more of a, like if you look closely, it's like a blue gray. So these are handmade. Each one's a little bit different. This size is like a doll eye size, but I have some that were made for icons for the church. That's what they made them for. Because if you look, some of those statues that you see now I'm drawing a blank. I can't think of that massive church in Spain. But they're looking down at you, and they have a wooden, it's like wooden carving, but they're back set with glass eyes. This company, it's a family business, been making them for like 3 generations. So anyway, this is $36. It's set in brass. It's $344. I mean, you couldn't set that yourself if you were going to do that. That's so much work. You let an expert do it. I mean, I couldn't. I mean, I could, but I mean, it would, like, for me to do it, I'd have to ask for more money because I'm not as fast. So there's the lot sale. I'm going to flip this around. I am feeling, how do you say it? Parched. I mean, I'm already, like, I've been coughing it up. Oh, Wendy's still waiting for me to divvy up that big juicy opal. Well,
Her dragon green is
folks,
fermenting.
I wouldn't say it's dragon greed. Would you? I mean, would you really say that? All right, I'm gonna flip the camera. It took me a minute. I'm sitting here looking at this. Oh, why am I flipping the camera? I almost forgot what we have to do. Get over here, daughter. Pardon me. All right, let's do the giveaway. I almost forgot what I was doing.
Hopefully it loaded in this time.
All right, let's do it. So it looks like we have, you guys want to blast in a few more.
This should be good.
Oh, there's, all right. Is
All
that
right,
just
for
going to
those
draw?
two.
All right, so these are the same. Remember, we will send you an invoice. If you don't have an outgoing invoice, we will send like, oh, Debbie. Debbie, we have your info.
Yeah,
you don't
we
have
do
to.
you.
We already know Debbie.
I
Debbie,
know
if
you,
you're
Debbie.
here, you can say, I feel like I saw Debbie's name, so we'll just go with
She
it.
usually sticks around for a while. Yeah,
Let's just go with it.
Okay, so
Let's
Debbie,
do the
you
next
got the first
one.
one. Second one, draw.
All right, here we go. Here's the next one, and who is going to get it? They kind of do the fake out.
Sandy Graves.
It's
you.
It is fun. Thank you guys for joining us. So good. I feel like I just saw an email from Sandy.
Yeah, I think
It's okay.
she was talking to us in the last live. I have this feeling that maybe she won a giveaway the last live, but I could be mistaken.
It's okay. Sometimes you win too. Sometimes that's the luck of the draw.
Right.
Oh, I see, Debbie. Thank you for sticking around, y'all. I'm going to flip this camera on. You want to get over here, little daughter?
Yeah.
Oh, she's going to do it for me.
Yeah, because I know I'm going to fix the audio.
No fixing the audio.
I have to fix the audio. Can you guys still hear us? Because when we switched cameras before, it got messed up. Very nice. All right, here you go. Should be good.
All right. Thank you, my friends. Thank you for joining us. We had a great time. We will see you back on, what's today? Sunday.
Yeah.
We will see you on Wednesday. So we'll do something fun. I think we're talking about paper flower making. I think that will be a good time. And I'll probably have more on that necklace. So come over on Wednesday and hang out with us if you want. We'll be here doing crafting and making things. All right, friends, we love you out there. We hope you stay creative all week. All right, bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.